Did again, I guess. Welcome, guys. This is our new format on the stream called Money Monday. It will be happening every Monday, 10 o'clock. Today we're a little late, but we'll try to come on time for next time. Um, this stream is more focused towards your money, your finance, your investment, and we'll talk a little about what happened last week, which stock moved up, which went down, and a little bit about cryptos too. Um, yeah, basically, I think we do talk. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so सबसे पहले का check कि आज market कैसा था. Actually, आज market से really bad. Actually went down to 2.3 or 2.9%, जो कि बहुत ही खराब है on a normal day. And उसका सब further side effects कि you will see a huge loss in some good stocks like Bajaj Finance went down 5.87% and Indus 5.6%. Um, HCL Tech was a top gainer in Nifty, 76 million. Oh, cool. Airtel went up 1.4%, but it was moving down from last few days. I bought few, which is show. Infosys went up. Yeah. I think Infy is one of the stock which you want to keep in your portfolio. So I'm watching the stock from the last couple of years, and it's very stable and it's moving consistently. It have all the good signs for a good stock. So I think probably you can add some of this if it goes down. I think 1100 or 1200 is a really good level to buy. Okay. So, you know, like my thumbnails and I'm doing it for my guest, but my guest didn't need it. So I'll be doing with my viewers, which I don't have. So basically लेट आने में कोई दिक्कत नहीं है, but ठीक है. Um, oh, it's still 3%. Oh, what is that? Numbers. Moving on. Let's go to recent news. Start with let's start with Apple. So all the Apple fans, there's a bad news for you. TSMC, which is the silicon wafer provider for Apple iPhones, I think it stands for Taiwan Semiconductor Manufacturer. They are planning to raise a price hike on all their future products, and which will likely affect the price of iPhone 30. So you can expect a quite good jump in the iPhone prices because Apple, I think, is one of the companies who keep their margin really high. So any kind of small change in their manufacturing price will definitely, definitely gonna bump up the final price by a good big chunk, big margin. Either they'll cut down on something like last time they did. Uh, they removed the charger because it's environmental friendly, but problem is it's causing more damage to the environment. But you can give a facts, you can throw facts to user on it. make them feel good about buying something. Uh, but in reality, that's all bullshit. Like, it's not gonna happen. Anything. It's better to sell the charger along with the, you know, box. If you're like changing it every time, not what type change it's Type C to Lightning, or probably like they should have moved to Type C. Right? There's a all of the devices, most of the devices are moving to Type C. They have their Mac on Type C. They have a OnePlus Type C or a Google Phones like Type C. Right? Let's move to a common charger. Solve the issue once for all. Okay, so discount revoked prices of 12-inch silicon wafer could be like $400. Okay, and that is could hike the price of 12-inch per piece. Okay, so the 25% hike is a big hike. Um, maybe, just maybe you don't want to buy it the next time. But still, Apple fans will buy it, right? So it won't affect anyone. If plan your savings accordingly, if you're planning to buy Apple, probably you need to save some more. Okay, it was country to okay. I know production of silicon wafers is a water-intensive process, and apparently there was a water crisis in Taiwan. That's why the price is hiked. This is something you know. TSMC has a reportedly arranged for 100 water tankers to meet the capacity each water to its facilities. Alright. So maybe there's a chance if in the coming years this water crisis is solved, but they're having enough rainfall, the wafer price may go down again. But definitely for iPhone 30, it can't rise up. Cut to my another favorite topic, or like our favorite companies. We're talking about Tesla. Tesla sold more cars than it's produced in Q1 2025. Wow. But they're still not selling anything in India. But it's a big market out here. But they have open office in India, so hopefully some days, some months, or a year, it'll be able to at least book a Tesla. Forget about buying. Tesla is now that has delivered more cars in first quarter of 2021 than it produced for the same period. But is it same with Tesla all the time? They always have more demand than the supply. The company manufactured 190,000 EVs. First one managed to sell US dollars. Okay. Among the total number of cars sold delivered Model 3 and Model Y companies. The remaining 20,000 US Model S and S. I think Model 3 is the cheapest version. But Tesla cars are solid cars. They created a market on these. They proved that electric car can compete with normal IC car. They get amazing mixer. Really good. Tesla fan. Hopefully I'll be able to buy it someday. Not to. Hopefully I can bring Elon Musk to my podcast someday. I'll have to do that. And that's some good price. Not bad. Mm. The Chinese market furniture company, Chinese more focused the Tesla since it's still open in Shanghai. Gigafactory 2019, the factory produced 1.505 million cars. China is doing really good in electric vehicles. They have Neo and very and I don't know how it's pronounced, Zipang or something, but they have a good competition for Tesla over there. Like India, India doesn't have a good EV market, right? We have some options like Tata Nexon, and I think even Volvo's coming with their car. You have, I think, one option from Hyundai, and Kona is Hyundai is from Kona. Kona is from Hyundai, and probably sometime you'll have an option from Kia too. Kia already have one option, but the range is really small. Like it's 230 kilometers, 200 kilometers. I think if you want to launch in India, the range should be around 450 kilometers single charge. Yeah, expand motors and everything else. They also, so they've created a long range, good smart SUVs. They are kind of giving a good competition to more Tesla in China. There's, you have Neo, which was about to verge of bankruptcy, but they jumped back and their valuation is, I think, $1 billion. Think about China market. They keep innovating on things. We need these kind of startups in India also. There's a big market out there. And obviously, you can create a cheaper market, regular cheaper car locally rather than importing from somewhere, unlike Tesla. So if you compromise a bit in your prices, you probably can give a good challenge to Tesla in India. And India is all about money. That's why the meme is now making OnePlus, did Poco did so amazing in India because they are offering a good hardware, I'll say, significantly okay hardware at a very reasonable price. Uh, their margin is not that high. They have some issues in the phone. It's not long lasting as compared to an iPhone, but OnePlus did it. OnePlus made at least they started with the cheaper phones. Now they have become kind of Apple. They're like following Apple. Every year they're just rising their prices to next level. But these things we can discuss on Tuesday. Right? Let's stick to the money market. So Tesla, good news for Tesla. I think um, this is a significantly good news for Tesla stock. Let's see how it performed today. I think let's assume something. Yep, 4% almost. I think last year was really good for Tesla. They have moved quite quickly from $150 to 600, like 700, went up to 80, 20, and then come back to 500, now again to 600, 700 levels. Nice. So if you're an Indian trader who want to invest in, you know, Nasdaq listed foreign companies, you can use, I think, Beetroot. Beetroot, sorry. You can use Beetroot to buy online stocks. You can buy Tesla, you can buy Microsoft, you can buy Apple. So it's pretty smooth processing. It's as simple as opening a Demat account in stocks as well. You just keep your KYC in handy and start trading. Some news from India pharma market. So Cadila is seeking not to repurpose hepatitis C drug, which will be used for COVID-19 in India. A single dose of hepatitis C drug, when taken early, could help avoid patient recover faster and avoid complications seen in the first stage of disease. If Cadillac get, I mean, they still need to get the clearance on this drug, but if they get a clearance on this drug, I'm pretty sure the stock's gonna jump up. So probably you wanna follow up on this news every day. Well, imagine a company like Patanjali and all, right? They have launched their own drug like last year at the very early COVID times, and they did some false promises. Let's not go into that, but people are still buying that. I know my relatives, I know people who are buying around my neighbors and all, who's still buying that drug. So it's not been proven that it helps anyway. So if Cadillac gets like approval for this thing, people will go mad crazy for this. They'll buy it and they will export it to Africa. And then I think Cadillac is around 430, 440 level, and yeah, it's around 448. So if Cadillac get not in this drug, I think it will jump to around 480, 490 easily. Actually, value touched 5 billion this year and then went back. The last 1 year was really good for pharma companies. Almost all companies jumped back to a significant good level. It helped like every pharma companies to go back to the normal levels. Let's see if the other company. Oh, yeah, they touched 490 and then it come back last second to 440 levels. And if they get nod on this particular drug, they will be again be seeing a jump here, a good spike. And yeah, so I think uh, you, my advice would be to keep this headline in your watch list. Keep looking about it. Maybe check about this particular tool, take a remote, and if the moment they get approval for this drug, buy it. All right, so OnePlus is launching their pay service in India. How, how many payment services we have in India? We have PhonePay, we have Google Pay, we have MobiPay, we have Razorpay, we have. Oh my shit. Now we have something called LazyPay also. LazyPay to pay later. And the UPI payment space in India is pretty crowded right now. Nearly every bank and commissions are supporting Apple have a very trademark, according to recent tweet by tipster Mukul Sharma. OnePlus Pay is a payment service by Asia will be tax line that allows user to carry out transactions. The company launched the service 2020, but it has been restricted to China. Now it looks like OnePlus wants to broaden its payment service lines rather than to keep it service. So it's something gonna be like Me Pay, right? I think Me, because Xiaomi also started the pay service first in China, and now they moved to India also, where you can do everything you can do in any other payment system, like payment apps. Phone recharge, your electricity bill, request for some money, UPI. I think UPI is a really, it is a great invention from India. It made the life so much easier. And it created the platform to all these apps to come and survive. Now people don't like depend on wallet too much. And there's a, if you remember early days of the Paytm, it was free to withdraw your money from your wallet to your bank. And later, some point of time, they made it chargeable. So every time you withdraw your wallet money to the bank account, they're charging some small fees on top of it. And then UPI came up and it's totally distorted the system because you can just transfer your money from one person to another person like in wallet, but you don't have to store your money in a wallet. Not sure. Probably, like, I think if post UPI, a lot of wallet usage is reduced. Not saying that apps usage must have increased, like PhonePe and uh, Paytm are doing billions of transactions a year. But the transaction they are doing, people are doing earlier via wallet to person, is moved more towards UPI. Right? They're doing more transaction through UPI to UPI rather than wallet to the wallet. I use my Paytm wallet still. For, I'm not sure whether you have heard of this. There's a thing called BB Instant, and I'm not using a BB wallet over there. You can link your Paytm wallet, and you have to maintain some small amount of money. For that purpose, I use my Paytm wallet still. Other than that, I use UPI. I think this going to be similar to BB. I don't think it's going to be different than BB. What do you think about this? जनता मेरी बताओ क्या सोचते हैं आप? Another news. All the Facebook users have a really good news for you. So, so personal details of 6.1 million Facebook users in India leaked online. Wow. Yeah, it's true. I mean, in current era, we are the data, right? And data is the money. Person gives this phone number of around 1.6 million Indians are on Facebook have honestly been like posted or having forums about cybersecurity threat. That's why I don't use Facebook. First reason it's become very toxic and like Twitter. So I'm trying to leave Twitter also. You hardly get any news. It's more about people ranting on someone or something. Every day, some other person is trying to make something trending, which doesn't make sense. The topic doesn't make sense. Sometimes topics relatively significant relative to you, and it is something you should worry about or care about. But the moment it's anti, I should say that. How is it? If it's anti-government or something, then there'll be the other opposition will start, you know, booming, pushing their army to trend some other things, just a totally opposite to it, and not just one topic. People are abusing like anything in Twitter. Right? I'm pretty sure कि अगर आप रियल लाइफ में लोगों से मिलोगे तो उतनी गालियाँ नहीं देते होंगे, बट ट्विटर में जाते हैं उन्हें पता नहीं क्या हो जाता है कि एक तो देना बनता है मतलब कि बिना गाली के बात कैसे कर सकते हैं. Similar to Facebook. Hopefully LinkedIn would become another Facebook, and but but I see people using LinkedIn as Facebook. आजकल कई स्टोरियां जो 10 साल से इवॉल्व हो रही हैं सब वही इवॉल्व करते हैं कॉपी पेस्ट है. Hopefully it will still stay till here on. There will be stories, there will be their success stories or some random topic, but it won't become as toxic as Twitter or Facebook. Hopefully. And I think it won't get that toxic because India is part of Microsoft now, and Microsoft kind of still have some policies in these things. They're trying to be good about the data. Hopefully, hopefully, fingers crossed, we'll have at least one platform which has not been disturbed by, you know, cool, cool. Just read it. Okay. So list of 32 countries was shared. Great. Should it? So it's not just India. A total of what? So it's 6 million India, 32 million from US and 11 millions from UK and 7 millions from Australia. Total will be 13, 32, that will be 45 and 11, that will be 56, 66. Around 67 million users data have been leaked. This is when contacted our Facebook company spokesperson said this is old data. That was previously reported in 2019. Also in Alto. And it's in 2019, the Maida news is covering this. Ilang stop it with Jilga. Guys, any of you using this Brave browser? So basically, this will give you some rewards back token for the usage, and it comes with ad blocker by default, so you don't have to have the Neo extension. I started using it recently and I kind of liked it. Uh, the other good thing about this particular browser is based on like Chromium based browser, so all the things, all the features which works in Chrome, it will work hopefully in this browser. Okay, I know their capital. There's hold on a second, I'll choose something. What to do? With work and everything. Sometimes I just miss some things. Um, yep, correct, correct. I I don't know how much of the guys are following this IPO and like recent. I think in the last few months there was like a thing, literally lane of IPOs. I've not seen these many IPOs in since I've started investing, which will be like 3 4 years. This is like, and still there are a lot of companies in queue. I know there's news, there's rumors that even Flipkart will be launching the IPO this year, and that probably everyone gonna apply for it because assuming the same point now about Amazon, right? That Amazon started paying and now it's there. कहाँ से कहाँ पहुँच गए और सबको लगता है कि फेसबुक फ्लिपकार्ट इज नेक्स्ट Amazon. So the moment Flipkart will launch the API, I think everyone will rush for it. The subscription level will be maybe record high. I think Flipkart is overrated somehow. It doesn't value that much. But greedy me says that I should also apply for it in a bit. So probably I'm gonna do that. But maybe I'll exit the very next day. I don't want to stay with it. Okay, so income based on bourses in March, 4 trade basis. Okay. Total 9 listed bourses. Okay, so last month a total of 9 companies IPO'd in NSE and BSE. Wow. The biggest issue in terms of size was Kalyan Jewelers, which is 1,175 crores. However, failed to make its listed and it's listed at a 15% discount to its issue price. This is one of the issue, right? So when there's like a less number of IPOs in a year, suppose 4 to 5 or like once in a month, and like this. So there's like a subscription level is very high, and the price of the share will jump up post its listing to a good level. Now there's like every day there's a IPO, and most of the IPOs are not even able to make their cutoff listed price post listing. They just go down. Like for example, we'll start with IRFC, or maybe it's me because मुझे जिस जिसके IPOs नहीं मिले वो बहुत चढ़े and जिसके मिल गए वो तो गिर गए. So IRFC I think listed at like 26 or 24.6 cents now at 22.50. It's not even a month. Just report. I think listed in 24.6 25. Similar to if we go to Craftsman Automation, I think it's listed at 1490 at this time, 1424. So it's not barely close to its listed price. And there's more connection physics. Yeah, I think Lakshmi listed on 115. Forgot listed price Lakshmi. Yeah, I think it's somewhere around 140, 150. But still, it's still in profit, right? So if people accept tomorrow, they'll be in profit. They are unlike Craftsman Automation and IRFC. Colangers closed on 68.1, 21.72% discount of issue price. Commercial data. Okay, performance is doing good. Even if this is down. So we are just going through the listing of all the IPOs happened in the month of March. The first two are in negative from the issue price. The third one, Surya Small Finance Bank. It is also 10% down from its listed price of 305. Currently it's at 273. Craftsman Automation is you saw already 1490 listed, 1470. Yeah. Another industries. Another industry. Okay, so here you have some profit 0.73%, 627. It was listed 900. इनको मिला easy to plan in the profit. Yesterday 97 and connect to 9. Issue price is 97 to this 216. This is Lazada, I think, was one of the most hyped IPOs because I think Junjunwala was pro about this company, if I remember right. Yeah, so Akash Junjunwala backed this IPO, that's why it was like just really boom like anything. I think the listing price was around 1970 issue, and it was issue price was 1100, which was really good. Like the listing, whoever have sold it at March 30th of listed, I think over 80, like 75% premium. And this has happened, right? This is one of the things happening in Indian market a lot. Whenever there's a news from any angel investor and angel traders that they say I, they have added this particular stock in their portfolio or they're backing up this particular stock, It's a really zoom up. It's a really boom up like anything. Uh, People blindly trust these people. आई थिंक थोड़ी रिसर्च तो करनी बनती है यार, ऐसे नहीं कर सकते, क्योंकि ये नुकसान तो हो जाता है कुछ ना कुछ। ये नहीं हो जाता है, जस्ट डोंट फॉलो समवन ब्लाइंडली, थोड़ी रिसर्च कर सकते हैं। Yeah, so Lakshmi Organic, as I said, it's still in some profit. It was somewhat 34% issue price. And MTK Technologies, wow. So the issue was my price and Iran country stock was listed at 1063, currently 1093. I think this year is full of IPOs. If you have missed some IPOs, don't worry about it. There's a lot many gonna come. Cool, 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 cool. What we gonna check next? सीधे हम स्टार्टअप्स पे आ जाए कि so Jana Small Finance Bank filed for IPO, and I have no idea what this bank does. But I heard of this bank before. ये प्रॉब्लम है ना, इतने बैंक हो गए हम। Jana Small Finance Bank said it may consider PI dollars 500 crores, including pioneer proposed further issue 400. Okay, the nation public offering equity for 7 crores, an offer of 92 lakhs 53,000 and 659 shares. So this is by existing shareholders, I think. So they're not drafting in new shares. It's just all the existing shareholders are liquidating their shares to public and giving profit out of it. Which is a good thing to do, to make profit of anything. इन द एंड सबको प्रॉफिट ही कमाना है, कैसे बनने वाले, कैसे बन जाए, और किसी के पैसे बनेंगे तो किसी पे डूबेंगे। All right. So we already discussed about different companies, how they're performing, उनके prices कैसे affect on. We saw that Tesla is doing really good, and it was totally reflected in their portfolio. The stock went up like 4%, and and I think it's going to go up tonight. It's not going to go down. See, yep. So last time we checked it was 3.9%. Now it's 4.41% because their Q1 was really great, and and these yeah. So probably you have not seen my earlier streams, but I keep enforcing on this particular thing that the whole market is driven by news. Any positive news, any kind of news, will decide the fate of the stock, whether it will move up or whether it will go down. So stock news like this, when they have a significant great quarter, right? Like Tesla outsold their cars, whatever they produced. So it's really good news for uh, for any company. And that we can see the reflection in the stock right away. Like it's 4.41 to 4.60 now. I'm literally like all the it's nice and Tesla stocks. Coming to startup Monday, we have a new section called Startup Monday. We'll be discussing about the startups, their fundraising, the performance, and what are the new startups come up. Next, you like maybe okay. So, PhonePe logs 388 billion. The value of transaction they made since March 2021 till March 2021 by way of UPI stood 5,000 5 lakh 4,886 crores. See, I we just discussed about this, right? UPI is doing significantly good. So every company, every uh, pay system, pay company, apps, they are getting significant help from this UPI. Forget about the term of transactions. See the amount for these many transactions, for 5 lakh crore transactions, how many users in there? Like significant users still required, which are making a significant transactions every day for this. Wow. Fintech major one point said annual total payment value value of $388 billion in US. The company which competes with players like Paytm and Google Pay. I think Google Pay is kind of going down. Paytm is still in the market, but the Google Pay when it started, they started giving us a lot of scratch cards with emulations, and then they pivoted their way of giving scratch cards now. So till the time people are getting free money, it was very attractive to the users. A lot of people are coming up. And now, if you see, it seemed a little slower to me. I don't know what about you guys. Probably will comment on it. But I find phone pay significantly faster than um, Paytm and Google Pay. And even Paytm is faster than Google Pay. One thing I don't understand is Google Pay. Why you need my location to for any transaction, right? Phone Pay don't need it, and Paytm doesn't need it. So it's not a UPI thing; it's your thing. So you want to know my location while I'm doing a transaction, but I don't want to give it. Just remove it. Make it simple. Right? Remove an extra page. I mean, totally sound like a dumbass to the Google PM right now. This is the reason we made this particular feature. And this guy opening his own account YouTube channel and now ranting about the features make a significant sense. Might make sense to you, but it doesn't make sense to normal user. Maybe you give it a thought. Remove it for the first time. First chance again. Okay, payment ratio is to 2.29 billion. Nice. I think PhonePe is going to be a huge thing. They are doing really good. They are yeah they have too many users now. Probably they should think about expansion for the other species also. I know people who are like not much aware with technology also is using PhonePe a lot. One of the company I don't understand, which is getting a significant value, is Credit. Probably I don't understand the business model, but they're spending a lot of money to community. It's just burning out the money out. And they recently raised funding because their one of their partner, which was a Chinese firm, exit out from the company because of a recent law from our Indian government firm because you cannot raise or keep money from Chinese investors. So they have taken funding from some different firms, which made their valuation to hit 2 billion. They did a funding of $2 billion, and it is mostly exiting of the existing investors. So they made some money out of it, but a lot of the Chinese investors, move on with this funding. So it's like open job valuation just 2 months after it was valued at little over 800 million in January. So in 2 months, the valuation moved up from 800 million to 2 billion, which is not covered, but unjustified. To be honest, it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to have like so they're funding. So basically, their valuation raised from 800 million by raised with a differential amount of 1.2 billion in 2 months. And I'm pretty sure they have not made any profit or their business didn't grow that level. And if you have bought Silicon Valley TV show, you know a high valuation is not good for a company when you prefer to have a lower valuation. But when your investor want to exit out, they won't make loss, right? So they will exit out the higher valuation, and that's the reason the valuation go higher. The local growth stage startup raised from 15 million in the first 2.5. Tiger Global, Sequoia, and Rubit Capital, and a new investor. These days, you'll be finding out a new investor every day. So there's a company called Udan, which is founded by ex Flipkart guy, I guess, and they raised a lot of money. They really raised a lot of money. They're funding their money significantly. They're trying to make a business for the B2B marketplace, and their side is a little slow. It takes some time to learn. Yes, looks like a mobile site rendered in the desktop, right? So if you see the Udan made a really huge amount of funding recently. Uh, Not recently. Recently also they made funding, but till the time they listed now. So total funding what they made is around 1.2. It's something not. It's not just one funding. There are more than one round of investment. And the founder what they did, I think the founder have invested around 30 million or 300 million to a new company. I mean, you have raised funding to outgrow your company, and now you have become the investor from that amount of money. It's tricky. Someone can fund me to, grow my YouTube channel, and then I can use that money to fund other YouTubers to grow their channel. And the investor should ask me a question like, why are you not investing that money to grow your channel? This is stupid. And after that, okay, so Udan has raised 585 million from Clutch Investor in October 2019, and they have raised 280 million around in January. Okay. The funding round valued scheduled 3 billion, total of 3 billion. So okay, so Udan have raised around 1.5 billion so far, and their valuation is around 3 billion. And then the founder from yeah. So Amod Malviya, right? So Amod Malviya is owner of this. Let's see if we can find the investment portfolio itself. We want to log into. So Amod Malviya made six investment in now, and those are on June 12, 2020. He was a lead. So this financial service, I need to invest in what? It's not just about about money. Right? So most of the early studies, they start off partnership for CEOs. If they start getting money, they are investing more about their salary. They'll start making a salary to like crores, 5, 6, 7 crores, whatever the salary they want. Or they start investing in other companies, like funding other companies. I mean, if you're so much passionate about your company, probably you will invest that money in your own company to grow it out for the companies, or you want to invest in other companies. It's good to like first take your company to a stable state where you're having a decent quarters every year. You are getting profitable every day, and then you can go and invest wherever you want. But if company is not doing good, they're still relying on profits every quarter, and the operation cost is really high. Probably you can cut down salary by a crore. If you're getting 5, 6 crore, probably you can get 3 crores. What about significant difference for the guy? 3 crore is a good amount. That's just advice which I'm not gonna follow. But it's advice. Okay, so funding this week. So we're gonna check all the funding for the Indian startups. So, so this week, 19 startups. 19 startups. Raised funding. Not just one. Of which 600 tourism of around 740 million. Among them, Byju's raised the highest funding. Okay, so Byju's the funding second 460 million is followed by 24 which raised 140. That's the thing, right? I mean, probably I'm not too expert in this topic, but maybe you don't want to fund BCCI and have your logo on your India team. It's very costly. Probably you'll save some money over there and probably put in your business to grow it. Yeah, I know that marketing is about factor. You want people to know about it. And if you want to become their sponsor, um, you won't be getting your clip in every match. But maybe there's other ways to market your product, right? Probably, um, want to. This is the way to do marketing. You make a excellent product which everybody want to use, and probably then that will significantly reduce your marketing cost. For example, like Tesla now everybody knows about. Like they don't hardly do um, any marketing in India, right? They do post significant. They post small clips about the features of the car in their channel. I'm very sure they do some kind of marketing in US or Europe because they are good, and China also. But they made us such a good product that they already have audience in India already. There's groups like Tesla India group where people are ready to buy this, and they're just waiting it to come down here. The only thing that's stopping those people are here. The cars has not been launched here. I think a lot of people are saving money. I know a lot of people have booked Tesla already. And I think the Model 3 when launched, a lot of people have it. Paytm found out what is there. We also booked up Tesla. And मुझे नाम बहुत गया विजय शेखर स्वामी. So I mean, educational space is a really good space, right? There's people are making like a ample amount of money. Uh, Maybe you don't want to like keep raising money and and buying companies. This doesn't make sense. Like White Hat Junior. The kid lives here. बच्चों जीने दो. तो so at the previous bike, like kids not coming to budget anymore. They have their own share of abuse recently. So it's a good company. It's not a bad company. It will help you to learn. Anything which help you to learn something. Yeah, it's okay. Maybe they just need to change the things here and there. The IT leaders budgets are raised around 3,000 crores versus 460 million. It's ongoing season after. Wow, 460 million just by Byju's, a total of 714 million. So 16 companies have raised, total sum of 714 million. And Byju's have raised 460 million out of that. So, and Unifor has raised around 140 million out of it. So its total around comes around 16. The 16 million is raised by two companies, and rest of 114 million is raised by total 40 companies. Maybe it's their series A. What does the Unifor technology serve? I have never heard of this. Okay, another A platform. Yeah. So okay, so I think they want to put AI in BPOs and KPOs to be simplified, right? To define it. So when you will talk calling next, it will be don't beep sound, you don't have to read it. It will be talking to you, understanding problem, and giving you some response of it. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. They'll make more money out of it, but probably in the end they'll get acquired by some company. I don't think they're gonna survive as a single company. They probably will merge some other company. Next 5 years, 6 years, next 10 years. Yeah, I agree. Okay, so Unified Technologies, Chingari, Chingari, short video app. दोनों भी चिक नाम देख के पता चला था ये तो इंडियन स्टूडेंट वाह ठीक है किसी नाम का नहीं बोलेंगे तो चिंगारी शॉर्ट वीडियो एंटरटेनमेंट ऐप चिंगारी on Thursday announced a 94.25 crores financing from on mobile on mobile on mobile is a I don't know I heard of it so it's a old company friend in startup who was already IPO'd listed in stock exchange and buy their shares. They were into, I think, mobile, it caller tunes and all that, something with that services. But that market is kind of completely vanished now. Not completely vanished, but it's there, but it's not. The user base is significantly smaller now. So they are into they have pivoted their uh, business now, I guess. And recently they sure also jump a bit. Okay, entertainment kills globalism, but it's also digital content. So they are now into digital content and entertainment. Uh, where they're still okay, so they're still in the career services, which they started early, like 2 decades contest. But what is this one more thing? Almost redefining the mobile game space. The offices in Montreal, City, India, that's streaming. Social gaming, esports, and IT. So AI is by default in everything right nowadays. Every startup without AI, what will happen? I mean, even if you're building a commodity, you have to add some kind of AI into get some funding. Yeah, I mean, tomorrow you're saying that you're building a what can be the least interesting thing to do. So you're building a fan, but you put a AI in it, and then you can charge twice or 10 times of the fan, and there are people who will be ready to invest in it, and you can raise a significant amount of funding. And then you can become an investor instead of investing in your own company. You can invest in some other company, get the stake out of that company, and probably exit at some point of time, right? Probably a third, fourth. We are going so. We exit the company has a significant amount of funding, significant value, and become an investor, angel investor. Oh, they are having opening also. So if anyone wants to join as a software developer backend, technically full stack developer in Montreal, or senior UX designer Bangalore, yeah, we can have free promotion over here. Back to later, but I have to be So Chingdagi is, I think it's something like TikTok, probably नाम से ऐसा सकते हैं. So a lot of people think कि TikTok को बैन इसलिए लगा इसमें गंदा कंटेंट बन रहा है. It's not good for our teenage class or आजकल की generation में some side effect. But that was not the motive at all. The motive was जनता सरकार को consider that's a very good market for short videos, proven market. And China से ऐसी relationship खत्म करना ही है उन्होंने काफी परेशान कर दिया. So let's ban TikTok and give chance to this local apps also, right? And then after that, I think there's a jump in those kind of apps like TikTok. There's like too many apps now present. Earlier there's just one giant TikTok. Now it's filled with too many fishes, and every TikToker is in every app. And now Instagram have clone of TikTok in their app. Now YouTube have the TikTok clone. Sooner, hopefully there won't be a TikTok clone in England. But there is I hope. So Chingari have raised 94.25 crores. Sound entry of Salman Khan. Uh-huh. So this is not the first celebrity who have invested in any startup. I think earlier also there are a few celebrities who have started investing in startup because the early you go in these startups, right, the more money you can make if they grow, even in a smaller scale. So if tomorrow this company valued around maybe a million or something, they are making loads and loads of money. And I think Virat Kohli and Anushka Sharma also invested something. Priyanka Chopra invested in Bumble. That's I can see that. Stashfin, new banking startup. Another new banking startup. What is Stashfin? So Okay, so it's the personal loan startup, and I've seen this the rise of these kind of startup recently a lot. There's too many companies or startups who want to give you loan or apply the credit card. So there's a stashing credit card which will act as a loan money, and you can get a credit line up to 5 lakhs with minimum documentation, instant approval, and definitely it's going to be a very high interest rate. I mean, stay away from these kind of companies, I'll say. One thing is, if you need really quick money, probably if you don't have any other credit card and you're helpless, you might go to these options, but these people charge money, interest like anything. Let's see, if I take a 5 lakhs of loan for a tenure of 6 months, so effective interest is 3.8%. Okay. So for 9 months it will be 4%, for a year it will be 6%. 15 months 8%. Yeah. So I think for 6 months it's fine. 3% is still okay. Okay, but 6% is not that good. FDs are not giving 4% and the charges is quite interest. So there is 40 million in Series B. Way cool. If you want to buy, you have a credit card, and if you have a good credit line, as suggested to buy a Diners Black credit card. And please, when you buy credit card, don't overspend by credit card. Invest all the your regular bills. That's the only mistake people do when you apply a credit card. Credit card is actually a very good thing to have if you understand how to use it. Just make sure you're spending uh, on the right things. You're not spending anything extra just because you have a credit card. And this will actually gives you a very good reward points like sometimes 10x, and you have their own version of partner websites, and they can look and get really good points, and those points are very significant values. You want to do what. So you can, if you are average spender of 50,000 a month or 40,000 a month, you can easily make in that by the end of your life 40 50k, which is a good amount because you're not making any money for what you spend. And here I'm making a good amount of money. Just make sure to pay your bills on time. First rule of credit card is you always pay your bills on time. Second rule of credit card, you always pay your bill on time. And third rule is don't overspend. Now what we have a way cool. Way cool is this is nice. We're learning about different startups. Okay. So fruits, vegetables, staples, dairy. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure whether it's just supplying the food or they are supplying I mean, they're supplying the raw materials or they're supplying the food also. So in retail, they'll be supplying the raw materials like vegetables, fruits, and dairy products. But it's a B2B or B2C. So B2B represent business to business, like a business can buy for different purpose. Like we saw in Udan, like in the case of Udan, one business can buy from another business. So like you can do a bulk purchase. And B2C is business to consumer, like for example, Amazon, right, where we are the consumers, individual consumers, who can go and buy from different businesses. So Amazon basically connects different businesses to us, right? They're the middle services which take the pain of fulfilling the order, providing us a platform where they The packaging is done by them, the pickup is done by them, the delivery is done by them. And the charge is significant amount for them. But they don't own the product, but except Amazon owns the products, they own products, they don't, when they started, they don't own any other products. And yeah, I'll need to learn more about this company. I don't understand what they're doing. I get an idea of it, but that concept is not clear to me. Handflix. 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 This went to the heart of Indian healthcare doctors, consumers, largest and most trusted brands. Okay, the EMR solution. I think Practo already have it, right? Practo was working on a technology to only detect the user signature, which was, and probably they came up with some point of time. But the Google image recognition works really good, but it won't be 100% accurate. But currently, Practo already have the CMR solution integrated with them. So if you're doing online consultation, you get an email directly in your app as well as in your WhatsApp, I think. So don't know what extra they're providing. But anyways, they have raised money. Huge products. Okay. So yeah, uh, this API services companies, right, startups, they're booming in these days. But they don't give an interface, interaction, they don't product. They have wow, okay, so they have to give in gateway also. Is it similar to Razorpay? What I do? So ESP platform is a robust national payment gateway to enable fast, easy processing payments experience and 24/7. Okay, got it. Mhm. I think it's similar to. Okay, so B2B finance tech, fintech platform. So it's business to business. Yeah, means like Swiggy can be their customer or Zomato can be the customer. Yeah, quite similar to Zomato. Yeah, but it's good to have the combination. Yeah, and they'll be raising some money. So anyone else fresh from a rocket ship, please. How many VC funds are there? And every place is new VC fund. Right? This is by Rocket Ship VC. This is by AI Ventures Funding Capital. This is Kalari GSM, which I have no idea. Denso is running another addition round I saw that coming. Denso's scaling up and they need funding. A good market. I think if they need to pivot their idea. They are if they're focusing on a very small space currently, and maybe if Swiggy is go any bigger or उन्होंने और पैसे raise किए और थोड़ा और बड़ी को करने की कोशिश की Swiggy probably they'll acquire Denso at some point of time or maybe outbeat them. Anything can be possible. Last minute. Last minute startups offering supermarket pharmacy and options to gated communities and started 1.5 million. I mean, so do you see any innovative companies here, right? Which is doing anything different? Please put it on comment if you see any company which is like doing something different or it's some new idea or some game changing idea. Till now, what we see is all the existing idea done in a new way or fast or very small subset of items. Like Dustmate is doing supermarket farmers home services for its gated communities. You all already the companies who are giving doing the pharmacy delivery for everyone, and now you're doing a subset out of it just for gated communities. Wow. You're getting funding good. I mean, next tomorrow, if Farm Easy wants to do it, they should do it. They're all in fine place. Okay. So we have another analytics company in town, Circus Social. They have a circus in their name. Sorry. So, so in the digital market, data analytics company that is disruptive in marketing technology. So our social and digital intelligence offering help companies track competitors, benchmark performance, analyze sentiments. So how they track down the competitors? Do they share the competitors' data? So basically, if you don't use the services, you won't be tracked, and they cannot share anything with other company, or they're buying the data from some other companies. It's too many open questions here. Take a look at what we can cover from rain to class. The site is not that attractive. It doesn't make a product back, but just saying in 2021, if you have your company website, you want it to be impressive. First click, like the what was the last company we visited? The health clicks or eSpun. It looks good. Catwork and the HR Tech platform. They are. I don't think we have need of another HR Tech platform. There are already too many options available. Zoho. Let's see what Zoho does. Okay, so is it something like Misha? Misha also started something like this, right? They were having a business market in WhatsApp. So basically, it's a cut copy paste idea. Maybe. I'm not sure that it's also Misha or some app for us where we can do business via WhatsApp. WhatsApp can grow as itself as a post platform. And yeah, now you can do business just via WhatsApp itself. They have APIs for business. You don't really need the app for that. Okay, so basically they are ditching web and they are concentrating on WhatsApp, I guess. The website is nice. Green tick mark, material companies simply for the break by green tick mark. Wow. Okay, cool. Good. So Zopo have raised 1.4 million and ZIO. I'm not sure whether you've noticed this part. And this is a thing called BAT token. So when you use Wave browser, right, for usage, you'll get this token. And then the more you use it, the more tokens you'll get in the end of month. I think once you have like minimum 5 BAT token, you can withdraw it and let's see what is the valuation that consider. Okay, sure, we can do this. It's around $1.2, which is nice, man. So if you're getting money just for browsing, which you're doing most of your day, you're a person like me, you're spending most of your time in your browser, so why not make some money out of it? So why not use Brave browser? I'm not doing any referral for this or there's no paid promotions because I don't have any viewers, but if anyone is watching it, any point of time, I'll suggest to use Brave browser. Honest advice. Coming to our last continent, India, Indo Health. So it's clear from name, right? It's a farm health related company, so it's basically a digital health firm. And it's getting listed by a Cipla. Name, Indo Health. Come on, Indo Health. Okay, so they don't have the website right now. But okay, okay. Okay, so apart from all these companies, we actually undisclosed deals. One more with OnSurety, Settlers, and Brainwire. Settlers sound like another lending platform, and Brainwire sounds like a. Okay, we don't have. There might be a still mode. Brainwire sound like a company. Okay, so it's a great extra. Now totally supports agriculture startup companies. We need more of this. I don't know what to do, but we need more of this. They are using artificial insemination access to it, like trucking. Okay, so basically, I think they're targeting farmers first, and that is this is. I don't know how they will scale up for the small villages, but if they are planned for it, this kind of makes sense. Like it's needed. Uh, there's a there's a big amount of demand for this kind of things, and but it all depends upon the pricing and the availability because uh, how do I put it on? So the demand of these type of things will be huge across India, but you have to understand this thing. Not everyone's going to pay a good amount of money. If you're targeting the major chunk, like the small farmers, probably in know, the small towns, they count every penny. They count for every penny. So if this product is causing a significant amount of monies and that's disturbing their balance sheet, so probably they won't go for it. Right? It's always a calculated risk for them. But if it's really giving some benefit out of it, if they can showcase or they can prove it that you're making some money out of it or the early investment, and probably come up with some basic plan which will be not heavy for those users, and we can see the mass potential of this product. Probably they will. Uh, I mean, the amount of money they can make out of it is like anywhere in the billions or somewhere, not just in millions, because we have a very huge farming community. Map my area news on bigger cemetery. Wow, nice. So Wazir X was down today for some time, and so and the biggest funding alert for this week was for Meesho. They raised around, I think, 300 millions, 300 millions, and they are also as a part of billion-dollar club now. Yeah, 2 billion. The valuation is 2 billion now. So Facebook, 3 billion from SoftBank Vision Fund 2. I think SoftBank recently opened this Vision Fund 2, right? They have put it up significant amount of money in this particular fund. Compared to the so total, so total of 425 million they have raised till now. It is around half billion. Good domestic startup this year to enter the corporate economy. I mean, earlier it takes a startup to go into 1 billion years, and now just this year there's four company startups who move into 1 billion club. Nice. It's good for everyone. It's good for us. We should financing round also show participate from existing investors. Okay, so Facebook, Process Ventures, Sumo Capitals, Venture Highway, and Wood Investment. Planning to 100 years. Here, these kind of statements are there in just little go blocked because all these startups are like till the time they are uh, targeting the T1, Tier 2 cities, right? They're doing really good. They're expanding their business quite further. And the moment they jump to what are T3, T4 towns, there they start huddling up. There they start seeing the problems and situations, and there they start. Then the growth start kind of stopped over there. Like they don't see that kind of growth which they saw earlier. I think one of the reason is the infra in the smaller towns is not uh, that good, plus the facilities and maybe education level is not even that good. I think we need to empower our small cities, moving out tier one, tier two cities. Tier one, tier two cities are already in a good shape. You already have a very technical revolution going on. But what about your other cities? They're part of the same country. We treat them differently. At least medical facilities and educational facilities should be good in every city. People should rush to different cities for medical facilities and education purpose. Yeah, cities should be strong enough to accommodate at least the people in it. But they will have to grow the city, it will have to grow the country, not just a person. Okay, so you gets 800 million funding at 500 million. Wow, that's nice. So he just raised 800 million from Goldman Sachs, Crown German. Think investment, Mansa Capital, Parkbridge. Deal specs regulation 5 billion. Nice. Great. So we have companies entering to 5 billion, 10 billion turnover, not just 1 billion. And let's see how the rest of the world is doing. Swiggy have the potential, like they have the customer base, but the only thing concerns me is like how they're going to capitalize on that. They're still not making money, right? That's why I don't know. So Rebit Capital needs 27.7 million for Brazilian fintech. This is the first point in funding. Okay, so अभी तक इस कंपनी ने कोटा है, they have raised 36.7 million since 2019, and they have about 60,000 customers and 110 employees. And what? So they made a good amount of funding, good amount of funding for the customer base there. But maybe 60,000 is a good customer base for that country. I don't think you can raise such money in India with such user base. 60,000 is, I think, very small. But again, it also depends on the idea, like how much the idea hits to your investor. If they loved it properly, the investment is sky's the limit. Next. Conductor one raises 5 million. Even tech just covered our Swiggy news. Like Indian Swiggy near 5 billion valuation, 800 million fundraise. Do you think Indian startups is going to outweigh foreign startups? I mean, they're not doing anything new, but they're implementing the ideas of different companies locally. But they're succeeding because the user base is really like the Chinese did, right? Earlier, they just make copies of US products and they are big giants on most of the companies. I think India is seeing similar kind of growth. And so, if India is becoming next China, this is a question for you guys. So, if India is becoming next China, who do you think will become next India? Okay, so Nexus partnership and victim investment capital. That's your answer. That's just right. On this, we have a couple of companies to deal with identity orchestration. I mean, still, it's a problem for many companies. It's going to really grow. And then they're going to take a road of trip that can cost them sort of deal with collaboration. 5 billion. What criminal is? Real payments startup. In the last funding, they raised 200 million, the valuation is 1.2 billion. And they have raised 1.13 million, the valuation is 5 billion. Nice. When they have given less stakes to get more money. They, sorry. Actually, it reflects. Too much. Connecting global merchants to emerging markets. Typical payments are nothing different. But again, it doesn't matter if a startup like that. It's a idea which is already revolving around the globe or every corner. If it's the first application in your country, then you might hit the big shot. For example, Flipkart जैसी कंपनियां, Swiggy जैसी कंपनी already थी वर्ल्ड पे. Delivery was doing the similar thing in US, which Swiggy started doing lately. But और कोई option था नहीं आपके पास, and they were the first player here. Even if they copy pasted the same, even if they don't invest any brains to figure out the concept or figure out the market or figure out the business plan, they can make money out of it. They don't need people to figure out the business plan for them. They just need a solid tech to handle those orders. That's it. फिर उसके बाद जब आपके पास फंडिंग आती है तो मार्केटिंग तो बनती है, एड्स पे नहीं पड़ रहे, एड्स तो आजकल फैशन में हो गया. My pitch seems to be the last step for revenue is to, this is interesting. What is this? Nasdaq for what? Revenue. Take the pipe cut again. Convert your recurring revenue streams into instant upfront capital anytime. It will not instantly हो क्या है, करना क्या है, उसका करेंगे. So, so you can get money and you can give it at once. That you can do. Okay, I have to read more about this. It seems interesting. The website more. Uh, but Nasdaq for anything, not just for Nasdaq for anything. It's a big thing, a big way to pitch an idea. Nasdaq in its own, it's a huge thing. Company are also broadening the scope of its platform beyond strictly SaaS companies to include D2C subscription. What is D2C subscription? The SaaS is mostly service-oriented services, and they are putting a lot of tabs. They're doing streaming services, telecommunication solution, VC fund admin marketing, management, big pipe, its platform. Yeah. When we first trying to market, we were very focused on SaaS, so first vertically told TCF time. So then what they're going to say from early stage startup. So I feel like it's for B2B business. Maybe it's for B2C. Cool, we can discuss on that next time. Next time. It seems interesting. It seems interesting. It's already calculated to close the stream. So fine, fine. Let's jump over to the raging, the hot the hot topic, Bitcoins, cryptocurrencies, and post that we'll just close this. So cryptocurrency is like so more companies including PayPal, Starbucks, accepting Bitcoin and other cryptocurrencies as payment, despite the volatility. Volatility. Onyx. Volatility. Volatile बोलूँ. So basically, this is a really good news for cryptocurrencies because the more and more companies start accepting cryptocurrencies, uh, the more usage will increase, and the the, uh, the more people will also start using these cryptocurrencies for the mainstream, not just for. So अभी अगर आप देखो तो mainly most of transactions for cryptocurrencies happens for just for buying and selling, not for purchasing a real raw material or go- real good materials. But once companies start acknowledging Bitcoin, Ethereum, Litecoin as a cryptocurrency, like now you can buy a Tesla with a Bitcoin, right? And people start putting their interest towards these. And I'm pretty sure, like when this thing, so this is today's news, like last yesterday's news, April 3rd. And let's see crypto market. These kind of news affect crypto market in a positive way. So I'm pretty sure the crypto might be jumping like anything. crypto market cap देखते हैं क्या चल रहा है. Wow. So STX, okay, so STX is over 107%. BitTorrent, if you remember, we discussed about BitTorrent on Saturday. At that time, uh, it was half of this, and currently it's like twice the amount, and still zooming up. Ripple is up after a really long time, and it's I think this Ripple news is exciting, and for a lot of people I know. Shashank, अगर आप ये stream देख रहे हैं, you must be happy to know that Ripple is up by 38%. So when this whole cryptocurrency started, when I entered the cryptocurrency market, that time, a lot of my colleagues also entered, and we bought a lot of Ripple. But जैसे मेरी किस्मत हिसाब से मैंने गलत काम किया. In fact, there's a news that India is going to ban cryptocurrency again. Last time when it happened in 2018 or 2019, this kind the news after that news, the market fall like anything. There's a steep fall in every cryptocurrency. So I panicked and I sold half of my portfolio, or say half of my Ripple, and they are up by 30%, 40% now. So but you make some, you lose some. So that's wow. So almost all the major points are in really good shape. It is a really good jump. Let's see how much Neo is doing. Let's just for Bitcoin first. Bitcoin. Okay. So okay. So there's no positive movement in Bitcoin much. It was at around 58. It is still trending 59 this price range of 0.55 55%. So Bitcoin is in that level now. You cannot see a surge like BTT in this. And there's a so it will be stable. Like the jump will be consistent, maybe consistent or may not be consistent, but it won't be like 50%, 30, 60% a day because it's already at 60, 70K. Uh, 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 a 30, 40% jump means 18,000 or $90,000 jump in a day, which is crazy. But you don't know about crypto market, anything can happen. But I don't expect it to go like a 10, 20, 30% jump in a day. It will max out at 2, 3, or 4%. But any gain is a good gain, right? Even if it's moving like 0.5, 0.6% a day, but it's consistently up, you'll be making money out of it. Oh, wow. New is at $57. Change, jump from 5%. How about, so I was checking one. Oh, it's fun. So some of the coins was jumping crazy. It's 7 days. Too much. So one thing you know that if you are investing in a top coins, right? We have Bitcoin, Ethereum, Binance coin. Binance coin is actually very stable coin to invest. It's a, uh, I'm seeing it for like the last couple of years since the platform started, and they're consistent in the graph. You don't see a steep death in this particular coin. Even when all the coins are falling, uh, this was maintaining its growth. I mean, there's no sudden skip. Like, ऐसा नहीं कभी $80 टच करके गिरा हुआ है. But now it's going towards $320, $370. Ooh, I have 0.5 here. But there's a chance, like in next uh, dip, whenever it will happen. Hopefully not soon. Because a lot of people are interested. But whenever the next dip will going to happen, we can see a significant fall in BNB also. But why we talk about fall, right? अभी तो मजे करो अभी. Everything is jumping up, everything is jumping up. ADA is almost $1.2. It's that's really possible. I think there's too many coins and there's always a uh, this is fine. So generally, if you see the negative top top loser, right? It goes down like 30, 40, 50, 60% also. Aj it's just 14%, guys. It's okay. It's not bad. IGNX is falling. Aave is down. ये Aave coin में जब से ले तब से गिर रहा है. I don't know why they didn't do this. I can just search what this like. ठीक है. ये जो chain link is about 20% down at the moment. The level 5 and 6 points. So Azir having their own coins. Wow. Wow. I've not seen this. Wazirax having a, a weak gain of 693%. That's amazing. When you always, so everyone who has invested in crypto, वो कहीं पे भी यार ऐसे गेन देख के तो लोग खुश हो जाओगे, राइट? 693, 206%. Okay, I have this also. Tron is up by 113%. It's a good news. It's a good news for the early investors. A lot of people invested in Tron, I know. Let's be happy with it. Nice. Dent is up by 97%. I think I sold my dents earlier. US up by 59%. Good for US. So that was crypto check, guys. और इसी के साथ we'll be ending our stream, right? Sorry to ask. Try to keep it for an hour. So have a good night and see you tomorrow and Tech Tuesday.